Hello there. I'm Paul Ray from the official Teen Wolf Wiki. We got some pretty big news this week from the PR flax over at Paramount Plus. The announcement was a real relief for me. I'm pretty crap at keeping secrets, and I've been holding in this particular secret since January. I'm so glad we can now talk about Derek's 15-year-old son. If you want to keep up with the very latest Teen Wolf news about the upcoming movie, or if you just like exploring the nostalgia and fun of the original series, you can subscribe and get a ping each week when I post new content. I'll say this for the folks promoting Teen Wolf: they know how to drop a bomb and just walk away. Around midday on Friday, they put this out via social and gave Variety a heads up so they could be first with the news in the traditional trade press. I'd already reported that we were getting Ian and Kylan back, but I've been holding in the news about the new ramen chef and Derek's son literally for months. For full details on the new characters and who is playing them in the movie, check out their brand new pages over at the official Teen Wolf Wiki. First, let's talk about the new woman in our lives.
Hello.
Amy Lynn Workman will portray Hikari Jong. When we meet her, she's serving up ramen alongside a familiar face that I won't spoil here. Workman is an accomplished cosplayer with training in several weapons and hand-to-hand combat. For more, you should check out her Instagram and TikTok. Both are linked in the description. Let me go ahead now and address the misinformed elephant in the room. Hikari is not a replacement for Kira in any way, shape, or form. Hikari was already in this script since some early drafts. Both Hikari and Kira were in the script until Art and Cho turned down the opportunity to return. Hikari has a very specific role at the start of the film that is in no way derivative of any other previous character. She's not even in Beacon Hills. There will be those who continue to believe the misinformation campaign that started with this purposely misleading article. I'm not talking to those individuals who choose to believe and spread this nonsense. I'm just trying to let casual viewers know the facts of the situation. No one in this movie was replaced by a different character. Parts may have gotten bigger as certain actors chose not to return, but those new characters, hello there, new characters were always part of the action.
We are sorry to inform you that Paul Ray has just been fully canceled for not sticking to the angry mob's false narrative. Please stand by.
At this difficult time of cancel culture incarceration, Teen Wolf News and Paul Ray need your support more than ever. If you have the financial means, please consider supporting this channel with a purchase of one of our original Teen Wolf-inspired Back to Beacon Hills tees. These high-quality shirts are provided and shipped by Represent.com, one of the leading suppliers of merch for YouTube creators. A link to the store is on the screen above and in the description, and please support Paul on all the other platforms so that he can raise his social credit score enough to return to public life.
Yeah, right. Good one. You guys are being serious?
Derek's got a 15-year-old son. This is news I've been holding on to since January when they started casting for the character. You have no idea how many times I bit my tongue when people doubted me about Hecklin's involvement in the movie. Vince Mattis landed what could very well be the role of a lifetime. Until this point, he's done a couple of small parts in high-profile films. He was one of the kids in the 2018 Halloween requel alongside Jamie Lee Curtis, and he had a memorable turn as a badass young Nikki Sixx in the Motley Crue biopic, The Dirt. Vince is a black belt in Kung Fu. I'm not sure which form exactly, but he's apparently good at that, and also proficient in Taekwondo and kickboxing. Now that the new Hale is out of the bag, the internet went insane over 15-year-old Eli immediately. I was super surprised on Friday when the most frequent question I got was a version of, "How is this possible?" Well, when a biological male and a biological female become physically intimate with each other, they often consummate the relationship with sex, and that physical act can cause a special kind of DNA delivery system to leave the male and connect with a special DNA receptacle inside the female. If successful, the two DNA strands combine. Oh, y'all mean in this particular situation? Well, two things are at play. First, Derek was sexually active from a relatively young age, his late teens at least. And two, Derek lived a full adult life when he wasn't on screen. I mean, instead of how could this happen, y'all really should be asking, when did this happen? Let's figure out when 15-year-old Eli was conceived. We met Derek in 2011. That's roughly 10 years after his high school relationship with Paige and 6 years after he was involved with Kate. If you want receipts on these times, in late September of 2011, the sheriff says the whole Jennifer Collie attack happened about 10 years ago.
The record should be over 10 years old. I just need to look over a couple files.
So we know that the Paige relationship, while Derek was in high school, was happening just prior to the Alpha Pack forming and Collie's killing spree around 2001. It is also undisputed canon that the Hale House fire happened 6 years before the first Teen Wolf episode, which begins in January of 2011. This 6-year time frame places the fire roughly in 2005, which means it happened at least 4 years after Derek killed Paige. Then we had the run of the show, which lasted from 2011 to 2013 in Universe. We know who Derek was with during this time except for like a year and a half when he was down in South America. So, in 2013, Scott Mulia, Styles, and Lydia graduated from high school. They spent the summer doing whatever and returned to school that fall for the last batch of episodes, and Derek was running around Brazil and North Carolina at that point. Finally, off camera, Liam and Mason would have graduated in 2014. Now, the movie is supposed to be taking place in the present day. That's 2022. Jeff may go on and round up to 2023 to make it an even 10 years since Scott's graduation, or even 2024 to give him some timeline space to work with if the second and third movies happen. But I'm not talking about that, and the major issue of when Eli was born doesn't hinge on that really. Eli is 15 now. If the movie is set this year, Eli was born in 2007. If it's 2023, Eli was born in 2008. If it's 2024, Eli was born in 2009. So, at the earliest, Eli had to be conceived 1 or 2 years after the fire at Hale House, and no later than 2 years before the show starts in 2011. There is zero chance Eli's mother is any character we ever saw on the show. I mean, Derek had a whole adult life between 2005 and 2011 that we know nothing at all about. I don't know why so many people cling to the idea that this child's mother has to be someone we know.